Another sensitive celebrity who has been known to suffer the odd rush of blood to the head is Australian actor Russell Crowe. At a BAFTA Awards after-party in 2002, Rusty allegedly roughed up an ABC producer who got the blame for cutting short a poem he was reciting during his award acceptance speech. Although Russell later apologised, many believe that his tantrum cost him an Oscar for his performance in A Beautiful Mind later that year. BAFTA-gate was by no means the first time that Russell's temper had landed him in hot water. Back in 1999, he'd been caught on camera engaging in late-night fisticuffs in Australia's Coffs Harbour. The News of the World got hold of the CCTV footage and published grainy pictures of Russell apparently headbutting another man. And despite his contrition, it was certainly not his last headlining scuffle. In 2003, while filming Cinderella Man in New York, he threw a faulty phone at the head of an unwitting hotel receptionist. Apparently, the heat under Rusty's collar stemmed from his inability to get through to his wife Danielle from his room. Russell pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge and landed a $160 fine along with a conditional discharge. But he ended up paying the assaulted receptionist $100,000 in a civil lawsuit. Russell reportedly described the incident as possibly the most shameful situation that I've ever gotten myself in. And I've done some pretty dumb things in my life. All the unwanted attention provided an unwelcome distraction from the job of bringing to the big screen legendary comeback boxer James J. Braddock. Thankfully, the negative publicity was balanced out by some kind words by his Cinderella Man co-star Renee Zellweger.
I would say that he's a committed man, and I would say that he's uncompromising with his art. I think that he does what it takes to authenticate the characterizations that he's undertaking, and it's intense. But it's not just intense because of who he is as a person. It's a joyful intensity. It's a focus. It's a shared passion that, he has with Ron and everyone else on the set that I loved being around. I found it inspiring, and I think it takes things to another level.
No doubt it's that level of intensity and passion that has got him into strife over the years. And for that, he makes no apologies, even if it means he sometimes makes bad choices creatively as well as personally.
You can have a lot of great people involved in some really bad It's got to be something, really personal and intense with me. When I read it, do I actually begin to play that character pretty much immediately when I start reading the script? Do I engage in it? I kind of call it the goosebump factor, which I've had the out of me for years for calling it that. But, other people can do it for whatever their reasons are. My reasons are really personal.
And on the trail to promote his 2007 film American Gangster, he proved he had learned to take the mickey out of himself.
No matter what I do, whatever rubbish I try to foist on the general public, I'll always do it from the perspective of being an Academy Award-winning actor. And that's lovely and all that sort of stuff, But let's just see how this one goes.
Over the last few years, Russell seems to have been setting a much better example to his two young sons, Charles and Tennyson, not to mention sparing his wife Danielle from any further excruciating embarrassments. These days, he leaves the immature macho behaviour to on-screen alter egos like his character Max in Ridley Scott's film about a London bond trader who opts out of the fast lane for life at an inherited French chateau in A Good Year.
Well, I think there's a lot of intensity and brooding to Max, but I think, there's also a lot of discovery for Max to go on. I mean, to do those sort of pratfalls 16 foot into a foot of cow in the pool, that requires the same level of physicality as fighting with a tiger. So it doesn't really change much for me.